Hi, everyone. Hi, happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Here we are. Um,
Hello, hello, hello. Akedue. Welcome to the Evelyn Marsh Network. We are all about the 6 E's:
six E's.
etiquette, exposed, entertain, evangelize, empower, and elevate. I am your friend, your sister, and your girl, Evelyn March.
Evelyn
And guess
Moore.
what? We love you, and we love you by force.
Hello. Hi, everyone. This is your girl Evelyn Marsh. I am multitasking here today, and it's not going to be easy. But we are here. I want to wish you a happy Sunday. If you went to church in person or online, hope you had a wonderful time with the word today. Also, um, I want to say if you are celebrating your birthday, your anniversary, want to wish you a happy birthday, whether this week, next week, or today, we want to say happy birthday to you and happy anniversary. We also want to say have our sympathy if you are mourning the loss of your loved one. I want to say have my sympathy to our dear sister from LGMA, our two sisters, sis Mema Walker and sis Esther Dia. We want to say have our sympathy, and the rest of you out there, if you are mourning the loss of your loved one, have our deepest sympathy. Today we are talking about fathers, the sacrifice and the legacy of a father. It's an open discussion. You can call in and give your input at 612-426-1353. Give your inputs, give your ideas, give your suggestion, give your experience. Whatever it is, you can um, jump right in and discuss. It's for all of us to discuss today. Next Sunday is Father Day. So we want to kick out this Sunday with a tribute or honoring or however it's called to our fathers who have silently or continuously making sacrifices that we don't talk about that go unnoticed. So we just want to throw light on the positive side of our fathers. No negativity here today. All good stuff. Okay, so on that note, I am in studio with Dr. Pa, and I will bring him on before we play the song. So he want to be on with me today, because we are all here just discussing, no guests. Yeah, so Dr. Pa is here. My co-host will be joining later. Dr. Pa, you are on. Welcome.
Thank you very, very much. I am excited to be here today, and we have a very interesting topic. Fathers. At least everybody got one or two. Uh, I know Evelyn got five or six.
Five. What?
Fathers,
Okay.
because she got a mean one, and then she got at least two that have been on this platform. Spiritual fathers. So
Yeah.
she probably have a lot of fathers to talk about today. But everybody has at least one. And
Mhm.
tonight is a free and open forum where we will be talking about our fathers. Hopefully, we will keep it on the good stories. We will have another story. We'll have another day that those who have the bad stories to talk about, they will have the opportunity to bring those out so we can process them. But for today, let's keep it positive.
Yeah.
Let's bring out our best memories about the men who made us who we are today.
Yeah.
And when we say fathers, we might have different ones. You might have the biological father, and some of you have other men that raised you, mentored you, and some that are still doing it even today as we speak that you consider fathers. So don't feel shy. Come on down. Let's talk about them. Like I said, I am happy to be here.
Okay. For some reason, I'm having problems sharing this, but let's see. Um, let's go. We're gonna go with a song. We're gonna go
Any
with
technical difficulty we have, we will blame it on Puchupu
yeah.
because she's supposed to be here. She's not here yet. But
So
yeah, let's go to music. And in the meantime, we'll work the kinks out. And then we'll start to have an open discussion about the primary men in our lives.
yes, let's do that. So let's go to this music. Hopefully, it's gonna play today. If it doesn't play, we have another song. But
Oh, I was good. I was thinking like if you say doesn't play, you will sing for us.
Ooh, no, no, no. Nobody, nobody can do me like Jesus. Nobody, nobody can do me like my Savior. In the midst of my storm, I turn to my mother, father, and siblings too. You see, I turn to my friends. They all turned their backs on me, but Jesus came to my rescue. He turned it around for His glory, honor, and power. There's no one like you, Lord. No, no, nobody. Nobody, no. No, no, can do me like the Lord. Lord, you are my rock and my salvation. I will sing of your power. Yes, I will sing your praise. For you have been my refuge and my defense. In my troubled days, I depend on you. In my generations, nobody, nowhere to turn. Nobody like the Lord. Nobody love me. Nobody can tell me. Nobody, nobody, nobody. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You are my everything. Hey, hey, come on, let's worship the Lord. There's nobody. He's great, he's mighty, he's awesome. He's my king. No, 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 no. He's my rock, he's
Nobody.
my shield. He's the man, covenant keeper. Oh, nobody. I'm calling you my triumphant tribulation. He
Nobody.
always there for me. He is my
Everybody.
hope when I'm weak. Lord, I give you the glory. You fed my everything, Lord. When no one
Yeah.
understand, you understand. I look up to you, you,
Oh,
you, and I. Wow, 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 wow. Oh, I love you, Lord. I love you, Lord. I love your name. The name of the Lord is so sweet. You are great. You are mighty. Awesome, Lord.
mm,
There is nobody. Yeah, yeah,
nobody.
yeah. No, no,
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
my king, my rock, my lord. Hey, I turn to
mm,
you and you heard my cry. I cry to you and you answer me. I
nobody.
pray to you and you answer me.
Nobody.
There's nobody, nobody,
Nobody.
there's nobody, nobody.
Nobody. Mm, mm, mm,
All right.
mm,
So
mm.
that
That was
was
good. That was good.
Heart of Worship singing Nobody Can Do Me Like Jesus. Nobody can do me like the Lord. Um Dr. Pang, again, if you are just joining us, we want to say welcome. Sorry, we're having a little technical issue, but I think I worked my way through it. I'm getting there. I'm
Amen to that. Amen to that.
our co-host is not here, so but we are here. So Dr. Pang, first
Yeah.
let's start with who is a father. Let's start with
Hmm.
that. Who you think
Who
a
is
father?
a father?
Mm.
All right. So there's a
But that
generic answer.
before you come in, we are talking about sacrifice and legacy of father. We know next Sunday
Mm.
is Father's Day, and so we want to kick off by giving tributes to our fathers, um, the impact they have made in our lives and things that we have learned from them. You know, so many times our fathers, they are also contributing in a positive way to society and the family and go unnoticed. So today we just want to throw light on our dynamic fathers out there, unique fathers, extraordinary fathers, handsome fathers, great fathers. Yeah, we just want to just appreciate them today. So Dr. Pa, yes, all to you. Who is a father of what age?
All right. Welcome, Puchupu. You
Welcome,
know, just
my
so you
co-host,
know, we've been blaming everything that didn't work right on you.
on you.
But
Yeah.
we're happy to see you. You
I
better make
accept
it.
the fault today.
All right.
Thank
So
you.
there are the word father, right? The generic definition would be somebody who a child considers as the bearer of that child, right? But
Mm-hmm.
then there are different types of fathers and different definitions based on that relationship. A biological father is the person who uh, c- biologically helped to create that child, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they got together with a female person who is the mother and they created a child. Then there's an adoptive father who
Mm-hmm.
is somebody that did not biologically create the child, but at some point after the child was created and born, they took legal responsibility, legal and sometimes other types of responsibility over the child, and become that guardian and that person the child accepts um, for that responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
There's also a stepfather who will
Okay.
be somebody that gets into a relationship with a female that already has children, and then accepts that female's children as his own. So then he becomes like a stepfather, right? So other people will consider like a long-term role model as also a father, right? So, to some people, the generic definition will be an older male figure in a younger person's life that they look up to for a sense of direction, a sense of guidance, and somebody they can count on in times of their own discombobulation or their own need for such love, acceptance, and guidance. Now, the thing between the father and a role model might be like the person who accepts you to call them father means that whatever that relationship is cannot be broken, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whether they like you anymore or you do something bad, or whether they approve of you or you turn out to be a rebellion person later on, because that father-child relationship never really breaks, right? It might be constrained, and sometimes some people even excommunicate, but the relationship still remains, where the one person is still the father and the other person is still the child, regardless of whether the relationship is active, passive, or non-existent. So that's my long definition of what is a father.
But you did good. I like the fact you how you broke it down, right? And then on the Christian side of it, or believer side of it, we have spiritual father, and like you said, or older male in the lives of a younger in the life of a younger person. And then on the spiritual side, sometimes it's not because that person is older, but because you look up to that person as a spiritual head, um, in that in the church or what have you, and so you look up to them as a spiritual father as well, regardless of them being young or older. Because I see some older people call their pastors or bishop or whatever daddy, 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 or father, father, papa. So yeah. Pujibu, what do you have to add? If you are just joining us, we want to welcome you to the Evelyn Marsh Network, and we are on here today. It's an open discussion. We are kicking off the Sunday because next Sunday is Father's Day. So today we want to kick it out by honoring our fathers. All positivity today. There are a lot of things our fathers do that go unnoticed, and we want to throw light on it today. It could be your father or just a father figure in your life. Um, that you look up to, and we just want to talk about fathers today. So we are all talking about the sacrifice and the legacy of a father, and some important things that father are doing, have done, or have lesson they have taught you. And so it's an open discussion. Like I said, feel free to call the number 612-426-1353. If you have something to add, jump right in. You can give a testimony of what the mark or whatever uh, um thing your father did in your life that you remember today. Just jump right in. So we are all just here having fun and paying tributes to our great fathers out there. Pujupu, my personal handbag. What do you have?
I have a needed today because I'm late.
You are late.
Today, we only got two names, Puchupu and Hembe.
Yeah.
um Dr. Kwan sums it all. Even though the definition there was very long, but he sums it all. A father is more of a person, who accepts the responsibility to love, protect, and guide and provide and nurture a person. So most of the time we see even the biological fathers then that currently have their children, but not they are not there. They can help their children, but there are other people that fit that category, to help shape that child's life and soul. So those are people that are, for me, I would consider a father figure, because you protect that person, because once you bring a person into this world, it's not all about you anymore. It's not all about you. You have a life that is depending on you. You have a life that person is looking up to you to teach them, to guide them, to do everything for them pretty much. And whatever that you're going to pour into them is what they are going to come up with in the end. So they are looking up to you, and you are fully responsible for them in a positive way to influence them. So because again, sometimes when you encounter someone, God has entrusted you with that person's life. So when you come into somebody's life and you say, oh, I want to be a father figure to this child, that means God did not make a mistake for bringing you both together and entrusting you with that person to bring them up and influence them in the positive way, like I stated. um and another thing here, I think the book of Ephesians 6:4, where the Bible talks about,
She
okay.
came prepared, Dr.
Oh,
Kwan.
yes, sir. I even know the question in that.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. The Bible say, and ye father, provoke not your children to wrath, but bring them up in the nature, and admonish them to the Lord. Oops, sorry. A monitor, sorry, then, to the Lord. So those are things like when you come with that, and the Bible is talking about that. So you are that father, you are responsible for that child. You got to bring them up in the way. You don't want them to grow up in the way where so much negative is being poured into their life. You want to pour into them a good soil. You want to pour into them a good soil that it will come out, it will germinate fruits, that when somebody see that child out there today, they can say, oh, this is so and so person's child. So bring out your children in the rightful way, and bring them up in the Lord as well. So that would be my take on that.
All right, just to add on to what you said, stay right back in Ephesians chapter 6. Like the Ten Commandments, right? So there's only one out of the Ten Commandments that comes with a promise, right? Where it says that in Ephesians 6:1, it says, children, obey
Obey your
your
parent
parents in the
in
Lord,
the Lord, for this is right.
right? For this is right. And then right after it, he said, and this is the only commandment that came with a promise, because it said, so that thy days upon the earth might be long,
Might be long.
right? The
Yeah.
other Ten Commandments were, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not covet, thou shalt not, serve another God, and all that stuff. This is the one commandment that says, if you do this commandment, your life on earth is going to be longer than usual. The only commandment that did that. That's how important the relationship between the child and the father is to God, right?
Yep.
So we're just talking until somebody asks question, right?
So, uh, uh, yeah, but we can still talk about, like you guys know I love to talk about my father. So
Yes, you do.
because I'm daddy's girl, I'm daddy's girl.
A spoiled one too.
Uh,
You know, I mean, talking about fathers. In fact, I was trying to write a tribute to my dad today, but hopefully I can get to it. And I started tearing up. This old man been gone since Charlie King Town, right? But I have not come to that place to accept it. The first election in Liberia for Ellen Johnson, um, what was it? 2000 and what? It was, I think, September something, September or October something,
Was
2000.
that 2004?
Her the first year of her presidency, that particular day was the day my father passed away, and I still cannot come to that place to accept it. There are days where I'm like, where are you? I need you. I just need to, because of the kind of relationship we had. Like I always say, my mom and dad had 16, but my relationship with my dad was so unique and different that um, I can never forget the role he played in my life. He was my hero. I mean, till today. And because I'm so spoiled and I'm daddy's girl, my spiritual dads also I'm a princess to them as well. They have no choice but to deal with me. But and that's what we are talking about today. I can remember how my dad and I, used to play around. We used to joke around, we used to laugh. Um, I mean, how he was my protector. He was my go-to person. I could tell him anything. He did not beat me one day. And anybody touched me, you would be in trouble with him. But he was the father who would call me and set me down and talk to me. Um, and just by him just sitting me down and talking to me, I knew he meant business. But my dad, man, it was like he took me for 9 months. Yeah. I have my mom and my dad. They stayed together till death, but my dad was just too much. And I don't know what it's there, but girls and the dad,
I don't know.
I don't know what it's just something divine, I think, and something unique. And that the fan can attest to that because he called his daughter Sunshine, and from a distance I can see the relationship they have. But I mean, I'm saying this just to say, like, for example, like I said, I couldn't get to that point to finish the tribute that I really wanted to say here to my dad today. But I hope I can get to it next Sunday. But that's how important and how special and unique my dad. And I can't come to the point to say was, you know, he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so father figures, like going back to the scientific side, you were talking about girls and their dads. According to a psychoanalyst, um, the first person the baby girl falls in love with is the dad, right?
Why?
So you will see, well, I mean, she by the time the little girl realizes that she's a girl, right? And so that she starts to differentiate between the mom and the dad, right? So then boys do the opposite too. The first person to fall in love with is their mom, right? So then, if daddy nourishes that relationship and do it well, right? If that relationship is fulfilled, that little girl carries on in life actually has a good relationship with other men, including her future husband and
Mhm.
stuff like that, based on that relationship with dad. Now, if on the opposite side, either the dad is absent for one reason or another, like that relationship doesn't get fulfilled, there are some young people whose father is absent because maybe they died, right? They were never there, and that leaves unfulfilled. You will see even their relationships with other men as they grow older will also showcase that absence, right?
Mm.
They will continue to either find men that reminds them about their dad, right? So they find men that either based on the relationship, if the relationship with their dad was a little bit stronger, they will be attracted to men that reminds them of their dads. If the relationship with the dad was negative, they will avoid men that reminds them of their dad. So you see they're attracted to the opposite kind of person, right? And so we are out there, those of us that have daughters, and we're like, man, what kind of men are you hanging out with, right? That we don't approve without thinking back that the kind of men our daughters are attracted to, we, the fathers, have a role into that. The kind of man they think is a good man depends. The first, the map that they have in their heads about what a good man is based on the relationship they have with their fathers, right? So then, if the father's not there, sometimes somebody fills in the gap.
Mm.
If that relationship also, whoever fills in the gap, if they are able to develop a good relationship, that young girl has a good in her mind, she has a good roadmap of what a good man is. If there's no good person to fill in that gap, right? Then, I mean, they just wandered around in the world without knowing what a good man is or what a not so good man is, and they're just guessing as they go.
Yep.
That's how important the relationship with the father is to a little girl. You become the definition of what a man is supposed to be. So it's like if you see men out there, I mean, you see young women out there that are in less than ideal relationships, and people are like, man, you're so good for that person, but it's still there. Maybe like when they were younger and the household they grew in, that's what they saw, right? So they saw their mother accepting men that were less than ideal, and that becomes the map in their head. Then of course that's what they're going to do regardless of all the advice they might get later on in life, until they get to a good or into a professional, get to see a professional person that kind of like they have to unlearn the ugly experiences and relearn a good one. We are all product of the way we were raised, right?
Yeah.
So that relationship is very, very important. In some religion, those who were raised religiously and those who were raised in a tight knit community, they make sure that that line is clear. Like a man has the responsibility to bring his daughters up and his sons up the way society expects a man is supposed to be. And if they do it right, they end up, um, their children end up becoming responsible, good citizens that also bring up families that represent what society expects of a father.
Mm.
So,
Wow. Um, the more you dive deeper into that, it brings me to this question. Because today we are talking about a legacy of a father. So it brings me down to the question here. When you hear of his father's legacy, what comes to mind? Because I'm hearing you listing everything there, and I'm processing it, and I'm asking myself, okay, could it be? Could it be? So when you hear that, what comes to mind at first? A father's legacy. What comes to mind?
well, when we talk about legacy, we are talking about what do you want to be remembered for, right? That's what legacy is. What do you want to be remembered for? We all know that at some point, it says there is a time to be born and there's a time to die.
Why?
It,
Yeah.
it comes upon a man wants to die that, we all going to check out. So legacy is when your time comes and you leave this earth, what do you want to be remembered by? And for every man out there that God has blessed with a child, our primary legacy is that our child will become a better person than we were.
Mm.
right?
Mhm.
That's how we make the world a better place. So we're gonna raise our kids with the intention that when we are no longer here, our kids, even though we hope they follow our footsteps, but we also hope that they will do better than we did.
Okay.
So we suffer to lay tracks. We suffer so that they'll be more educated than we are. We suffer so that we leave something behind more than what our parents left for us. We suffer so that it will be a little bit easier, but we also hope that making it a little bit easier will mean that they will go a little bit higher and they will do a little bit better than we did. So our primary legacy is that our children will do better than we did. But that also means that you will raise your children in a way that they will share the vision that God has placed in you, right? Remember, we believe that children are a gift from God. So when God gives you a child, He too has expectations of what you are going to do with the gift He gave you, right? And
Mhm.
sometimes, based on the circumstances and some of the decisions that we make, sometimes we don't rise up to the expectation that God originally had for us. So, for example, you look in the Bible, God had wanted David to build a temple, and but David did not. I know David did some screw ups things, and God said, "You know what? I'm not going to let you build a temple, but I'll let your son do it." Right? So there are times that God will place a vision or some kind of point of direction in our hearts, and we might start it, but for some reason, one reason or another, we may not be the person that ends it until our time comes. But if we raise our children correctly, then they will pick up from where we left off and then complete the vision that God had originally placed in us. So our
So
legacy is remembering to leave behind children that will carry on or do better than the vision that we birthed or originated.
so more like a good and bad seed that you plant within your children. Mm.
So it is a seed. It's going to
Mm.
grow, right? But God has an expectation that, remember, when you plant the seed cannot take care of itself,
Mhm.
right?
Gotta water it.
So at the beginning of the growth, when there's a sprout, somebody has to protect the seed, right? Let's say even from the planting of the seed, it needs protection, right? And then when it sprouts out, it's still too small to take care of itself. It needs protection as well until the time comes when that seed is ready to bear fruit. It's your responsibility to guard it. For example, um, I'm not a pastor, guys. Don't hold me accountable to this, but you know, so like when Mary conceived, right? The conception needed protection.
Mm.
So God
Yeah.
said, "Hey, you gotta go to your Aunt Elizabeth place." And
Mm-hmm.
so because Elizabeth herself, this was this old lady in her 80s, or she was way too old to get pregnant that time. She did. So she also was hiding from people, like, so they can tell us, hey, oh my God, some kind of kwashiorkor disease or something, right? So God said, go to your auntie, because we don't want all kind of people putting you more on you in this place, right? Because there were people telling Joseph, mm-mm. The guys on deaconesses, the guys on deaconesses, deacon, they're like, Joseph, you sure? So God said, listen, this seed needs protection. Let's take it someplace and protect it. until when you get to like in your second trimester or something, right? Where this thing can get miscarried, then you can come back and let it deceive people talk, right? And then
Mm.
when Jesus was born, it was still a little young, and God had to say, listen, y'all need to leave this whole place, go to Egypt, right? Jesus began, y'all got to take care of him. Because, even though he was young, but mom could run a little bit. Because when they brought him back around 12 years old, and then um, he came to the temple as a 12-year-old boy, the kind of thing he was talking. Remember, there was no internet that time, no Google,
Nope.
no books. And the kind
Mm.
of thing he was talking, even the priest then was surprised. So God was like, hey, y'all got to move from that time again, go someplace because plenty people have already, plenty people have already seen him, right? So then they have to go. That's the same thing with the fathers. When a child is conceived and the child is still young, your goal is to protect that child, teach the child, and make sure that everybody takes care of that child until the time comes when the child is ready to do what God wants it to do. So your legacy is to get to that place where you can say, God, you give me the child, I protected it, and it's ready to roll. And hopefully they are able to fulfill that vision that either God placed in you to teach them or will reveal it to themselves. But in the end, your goal is that they will do better than you did. That is the legacy we leave our children.
Mm. Mm. Mommy, mother, you are muted if you want to add anything.
I like that you said that at the time because I think I am just an example of the legacy my dad left. You know, um, if some people say if I leave this world and come back, I want that particular man to be my dad. Of course, he did a
Suppose you
great.
come before him.
I would take him to be my son. Have the opportunity to search. I would take him to be my son, but integrity. A lot of
Oh, man.
my
Mm-hmm.
my characteristics or my behavior or what have you, my brothers always remind me like your dad, just like your dad, just like your dad, just like your dad. And so there are things that I do. He was a man of principles. Yeah, very. I mean, to the point. Just an example. I would send money to my brothers. I would send it through my dad to give it to them, and he would make them to sign for it, write their name and sign. And even if my friends, he would do the same thing, and they would tell me, "Do not give our money to your dad. If you want to send us something, send it to us directly. Do not give it to your dad because your dad, for the principle, we have to sign for our own money and stuff like that." It's just an example, but he was a man of principle, and his word was his word. I mean, I can go on and on and on because I love to talk about my dad. I can take all year talking about my dad and non-stop. That's the kind of impact this man had or play. That's the role that this man played in my life. And so, like you said, Dr. Kwan, what a great, like you see. And even all of his sons, though they were attached to their dad, but you can see. And one of the things that he did, he brought all of his kids up in the Lord, to know God, to serve God, and to build and have that relationship with God. And so honestly, it can go on and on. But if you are just joining us, we want to say welcome to the Every March Network. It's an open discussion. We are talking about the roles or the sacrifice and legacy that dad rather. So you can call the number if you have something to add, 612-426-1353, and just say something about your dad or any dad, for that matter of fact. So we are talking about fathers today. All positivity, no negativity today. the good things our fathers have done in the community and so. So I want us, Kujibu, I don't know if you have something to say, but I wanted us to look at that upon some common sacrifices a father makes that we don't realize or that go unnoticed. Because always we look at the mother did this, mother does this, mother have done that, mother did that. What are some of the sacrifices that fathers make that we don't notice or we don't even appreciate?
Mm.
All right. Well, I don't. Let me start with responsibility instead of sacrifices, right?
Okay.
Okay. The very first responsibility is like when the woman can tell the man say, "Oh, I missed my period," or "I'm pregnant," right? That's the very well. That's the very first thing the
Oh,
man got to
God.
be like, "Ooh," right?
Okay.
There's some men that immediately like, no, 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 no. I don't want. I'm not ready for a child. I don't want no child. And either that woman will have to make the decision to become a single mom right from the start, or get rid of the pregnancy. So the very first responsibility is for the man to say, "Oh yes," right?
Mm.
I mean, we can do
Was
this,
yep.
right?
Yeah.
This is a blessing, and you know, be happy because but when a woman comes to say that thing, she's shaking, right? I don't know how many men are on here tonight, but when she comes to tell you, unless this discussion has happened several times before, where the man has spoken out to say, "Oh, I want a baby, I want a baby." If that discussion has not happened before, when that woman comes that first time to tell the man, say, "Lola, I'm pregnant," it's shocking, right? So by the time the man said, "Okay, I think we're ready for this," that's the very first responsible statement, right? I know the pastor laughing, but I know what I'm talking about, right? Okay, and then that pregnancy, even though the woman is carrying the fetus, you know, the responsible father, no. These days though, they can say we pregnant because it's like the man
You and
knows
I.
yeah, it's part and parcel of that pregnancy. How healthy the woman turns out, right? How healthy the baby turns out. It's also part of the man's responsibility. That in some culture they treat the pregnant woman like you know, like chicken egg. They
Yeah.
make you know, yeah, you like the queen bee. And so if you treat your pregnant woman that way, of course, you get a healthy baby coming out, right? So if you are not that responsible, of course, you're going to stress her out. And depending on the level of stress and how prolonged the stress is, it also impacts the fetus. And then you end up with babies that are not 100% okay, right? They got
Mm.
all kind of issues based just on stress. I'm talking about other biological things that might be going on. So that's the second step of responsibility. You accept the pregnancy and then you help take care of the pregnancy as part of it, right? In the Bible, there it said when Mary came, even though Joseph was kind of suspicious, but he took care of her, right? Until the angel came and said, "Hey, I know you're thinking about getting rid of her, but don't," right? But he took care of her. He didn't go to disgrace her. He didn't go to be part of the gossip and all that stuff. He took care of her, right? And when that baby comes, right? Human beings, there are certain animals where the men help raise the baby, but in mammals, I think human beings are the only one where men have that kind of responsibility to help raise the baby, right? There are other places where there is a totally female thing. The mothers have to raise the little animal, whatever it is. There might still be cultures where the raising of the kid is still 100% a woman's responsibility. But in this our modern time, the other thing the man can do, I don't want to call it sacrifice because once you accept the belly and the baby comes, you are both equally responsible to raise the kid. But I can tell you, I worked night shift for 22 years just so I can be there for my kids in the daytime, right?
Mhm.
Uh, so I have to run from work and make sure I drop them to school, pick them from school, make sure they do their homework, and then go to bed. Like summertime like this, that was my worst time because the sun still be up around 8, 9 p.m. I still think it's too early, and then by the time it look that time to go to work, so there will be days I didn't sleep before going to work. But I work the night shifts just so I can be there for them in the daytime. I don't consider a sacrifice. Okay, as doing my duty, right? Um, but those are things that men do that go unnoticed. The kids, that when they are growing up, the reason why they consider their mom as the one who makes the sacrifices that they want to see working, right? In most families, when the kids wake up, their mom is there. She makes breakfast, or they come home. They see her cooking, they see her cleaning, you know, and all that stuff. That though, we usually work outside the home, so when they are growing up, before they get to the place where they understand the concept of work and money, they only consider us that we, we usually out of the house, so that their man they see that that's working for them frequently. They see that dad is usually out of the house. Yeah, he's going to work, but they don't consider the fact that the work dad is doing is also to help mom, pay the bills, like pay the rent, buy the food, buy the clothes, and all that stuff. So they are closer to their mom because they actually see her cooking the food, washing the dishes, or cleaning the place, and doing all that stuff. But later on, though, when they become adults themselves, they do start to identify some of the responsibilities and sacrifices that their father did. But until they get to that place where they know the difference between work and money, the only person they usually see working is their mom. So they appreciate their mom a little bit more. Now they do have some fathers that cook, do the breakfast and stuff. And yeah, they appreciate those ones too. Because at least they see you doing something that directly benefit them immediately. They see you cook, they eat, they say, yeah, that good parent right there. But to go work and then put the money in the bank, they don't see that one. So that's why they're closer to one of the reasons they are closer to the moms as well.
Yeah, it's funny that you said that. I don't know if it's funny or it's great that you said that because, like those days, the fathers will go out work, make the money, right? Give it to the mothers. The mothers are in the home. They are doing all of these things that you talk about, and so kids don't see it. They think, and because the mother is the one going to purchase these things and doing this, they think that it is the mother's money, but not knowing it's the father who went and made the sacrifice or worked so hard to give the mom the money to do this. And fathers, some of the things I see too, fathers also sacrifice their time and freedom because, like you talk about, working at night just so you could be able to take your kids to school and all of that, help them with their homework. It's your time. You could use that time to do something that, like your hobbies, like things that you love to do, and all of that. But you sacrifice that, social. You could go sit with friends. I mean, do different things, but you sacrifice that time to make sure, and financial stability. You work hard too to make sure that your kids are taken care of, that they have the needs, the food on the table, clothes to wear, and stuff like that. And like you said, kids will only see the mom going to shopping, let's go and shopping and stuff. But dad gave the money to the mom. And these are things too that people don't recognize, that go sleep and rest. Like you said, there are certain times where um you have to get some rest after doing all of that. But then there are times too you will not sleep, but you go to work, because you have to take care of the kids, make sure they are okay. So just how mothers also are, giving their time, their sleep and hobbies and social life and all of that, fathers are also doing that as well. Your emotional well-being and stuff like that. And let's say, for example, you got a baby who cries a lot, you know, you have to be there too to work along with the mom at night when our baby can't sleep. They got some of them in the day that eyeball can close. In the night, the eyeball go.
You're speaking for experience. Would you move?
Refuse to
Ana isa tadakpa.
and
You remember?
the father is, you know, to also make sure the mom. There are some father who will say, "Go and get some rest," because the mom is there,
Yep.
the baby, and the father will say, "Okay, you go and get some rest, sleep for at least 2 3 hours, and I will
Mm.
take care."
Mm.
At night, I'm talking about a baby who can close their eyes at night.
Yep.
Father is there to step in, and these are some things that fathers do that we don't recognize.
Yep. That's
It's
true.
all we always bashing the father. Oh, how they call them? Deadbeat dad
Debbie.
and that and yada yada.
Absent father.
Absent father, but fathers really go the extra mile as well. And I can say
I
that,
want you to say some,
Some.
not all of them.
Some.
okay, some fathers go the extra mile, go above and beyond. I love the word above and beyond to make sure their family, and some father, um with making sure their family, even if they have to work to McDonald's, right? To make sure they have income, if it can be their second job, whatever they have to do to put food on the table for the family, make sure their kids are in school, make sure that their kids have clothes to wear. Some
Mm.
father, what kind of sum you're putting my mouth here today
No,
now?
it's the fact,
Hey,
mommy.
it's
Some.
true.
I would
It's
agree
true.
with the some.
Okay,
It's
Yes.
true.
Not
but
all.
Right? Let
and
me tell you a story. Let me tell you a story. Okay, one thing I wanted to say too is like when we're talking about the fathers who are involved and engaged, you should know too, like I said earlier, when the children become adults, they actually start to appreciate their dad, even if they didn't do it when they were teenagers, right? Because as teenagers, their brain is not yet fully developed, right? So they are responding to what they see in front of the person that cook and they eat, or the person that asks their opinion, what you want to eat today, and say, oh, that love, right? But for example, like I said, I used to work night shift, and then I'll come home, take my kids to school, right? So one day they had a little family council, and they called me there and say,
you go mute, Dr. Kwan.
Tadakpa, you missing action.
Dr. Kwan, we can't hear you. We can't hear you. Okay, so why Dr. Kwan is working on his his stuff over there, um, you know, like I was saying, you are on mute. You
You
are
on mute. Let me see if I can unmute him.
all right,
Oh,
can you hear me now?
yes.
you are okay.
Oh, sorry about that. So I was told the story where my kids have a little family council on me. They say, we think you are robbing us of one of the classic experiences of going to school in America here by carrying us to school every morning. We want to be able to ride a school bus so we can get our experience. I said, oh, that's a good idea, right? Tomorrow morning when I come out, you'll go to sleep, you'll go ride a bus. Right? The 2 day, the third day they came right daddy, you know what? I think they drop it off better. You know, so I said, no, y'all
The
go
school
get a
bus can
classic
carry you all
experience.
around town.
Y'all go get a classic experience, right? So there are things that they don't know that we do so that they don't go through what we went through, but they don't appreciate it because they don't know, right? I know after that, their lately they are riding a school bus, then maybe they started to appreciate the fact that they got dropped to school. But before that time, they thought I was causing a problem by not letting them to ride a school bus. And yeah, I am thinking I'm sacrificing for them, but they don't know. So sometimes they don't appreciate it because they don't know what you're going through. Until they get a job, like when they turn 16, 17, they get out their job, but they pay a small thing when they bring a thing, as they say, you know, maybe you should start to buy your own shoe and stuff. No, that my money, right? They,
Look,
suddenly, yeah. So suddenly, once they work and they start getting money, then they start to get the value of money, and now they don't want to share their money.
yep.
You're like, oh, it is my money that I've been spending on you, all this time, and now that you are making money, you don't even want to take me out for lunch, right? And then so somewhere down there, as their brain develops and their experiences get there, they actually get to appreciate what we do behind the scene. So to dads that are out there, if you have children that are seem ungrateful right now, most of the time that's because they don't know what we are going through, right? And they don't understand it because their brain is not yet developed fully. So give them grace. Continue to be the role model of a father that you want to be, right? And those of us that got daughters, try to be the kind of man that you want your daughters to marry in the future so that they can have a good example in their mind of what a good man is because based on their relationship with you, that's how they're going to judge other men that they meet in the future. So once they become teenagers and stuff like that, make time to talk to them. Tell them, none of us is perfect. We've all made some mistakes, and they're seeing you. Sometimes the way you might treat their mom is not correct or ideal. By the time they like teenagers, call them aside and start to explain things to them so that they can start to create that perception that you want to create in their minds to differentiate between what a good man is supposed to be like and what a not so good man is supposed to be like. You be the example for them and you be intentional about that because the first men that your daughters experience, you are the roadmap that they have in their
Mhm.
minds and that what they will be looking for.
Okay, so Pujapu, let's recognize our partners on here, and then we can go back at the point to discuss the role of a good father.
That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome my Auntie Kathleen. We want to say welcome
Favorite big sis, it.
all the way from Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Welcome again. Welcome, sis Nana.
Hey,
That last week I get it marathon.
girl. That's my nana. My nana.
Welcome, sis Nana. I hope you are doing good. Thank you again for tuning in. We appreciate you. Sister Bless.
Hey,
Bless, let's see. It is, I
blessings.
think, 1 or 2 o'clock
Welcome
in
back.
Ghana.
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in again. Always here to support. She said, please, family, good morning from Ghana. I am happy to be here.
We're happy to have you, my love. Thanks for being here.
She said the best way to be reminded is to live a good lifestyle and give to the needy also shows help or care more of people outside from your family because when you do this, the future will be more blessed. This was when Dr. Kwan was talking about the legacy of a
Okay.
father. So thank you, Bless. And Dr. Scott, we want to say welcome.
Welcome, Pastor Scott.
He started laughing when we were talking about, I forget that what we were talking about.
When a woman says she's pregnant, that will only happen.
Yeah, the woman said she pregnant. And
Yeah.
Sister Blessed too is laughing. I don't know what man. All we afraid of that kind of conversation. The woman bring the pregnancy test and
Well,
say I'm pregnant. Why you afraid of it, Dr.
number
Kwan?
one, well, the first thing is this is one thing that we cannot control, right? We don't know what is. I mean, this is like you in a partnership with somebody, and now something pops up that's going to last several years because of course the baby is going to come and then there'll be more years to it, but for the beginning of it we got no control, right? So it's not easy for a man to get into something that he really can do nothing about. So that's the
Unintentional.
first thing that freak us out because we don't know what to do, how to do it. You don't know, like every woman's pregnancy is totally different. They got some
True.
women when they're pregnant, you got to have a bucket by them because they spitting every day,
And
right?
some don't even
And
want to
some of
see
them will
you.
get so sick, right? Some of them get so sick. You so that's the first thing that freaks us out is we don't have control over this thing. You just pop up to us, and we don't know what to do. If it is your first child, you have no clue what to do. This is not like we don't have families where people sit down and talk about these things, right? So if it's your first child, you had no clue. If it's the woman's first child too, then the both of y'all have no clue, right? They don't have young girls over there where their mom called them to say, one day you're gonna get pregnant, and here's what to do when you're pregnant. No, we don't have those discussions. And then the men, we don't have those kind of discussion with boys to say, well, one day you're gonna we can talk it to scare them. One day you're gonna pregnant somebody, right? And we talk it like it's like a curse, right? So when it actually happen, they freak out. We don't call boys and say, listen, one day if you got a girlfriend, you're doing the nasty. One day she gonna get
What
pregnant,
is
and
happening? What
yes,
is happening?
yeah, and here's what to do when a woman's pregnant. We don't teach our sons that. So that's why we freak out when it actually comes to pass. Because before it actually happens, whether we're talking to the girls or the boys, we make it look like pregnancy is a curse. Pregnancy is a some kind of evil consequence, right? So that's why we freak out. We can control this thing, and the only time our parents have talked about it is being in a negative sense. So that when it happens, we almost never ready for it, and we don't know
Mm,
what to do.
mm.
Okay.
Okay, we understand. Um, Pastor Scott, he said that's a major point that the Kwan- that's a major point that the Kwan- most people don't consider it.
Well, that's when we were talking about the fathers working outside the house and the mom
Yes.
working where the children can see it. So then they are more connected because they eat the fruit of the work that mom is doing. They can see it and they eat it immediately. And the one that dad is doing, they really don't see it. It's kind of passive to them.
Yeah. So welcome again, Grandmommy. Grandmommy, Pastor Annie Hester. She's on here. She said thanks for this topic.
Welcome, mother.
Thank you. Thank you for being here.
I don't know if we know, but this person is on.
Yeah, this is one of the stream. This
Okay,
person is on Bam Bam.
their name. What a name, Bum Bum Desal, whatever it is.
Bam Bam Desire. Desire.
Okay, well,
Welcome.
Uh,
welcome, mother.
Um, Pastor Scott, he says, so true. I am a witness of that. I helped their mom many times to take care of them.
well, I don't want him to say I helped that mom. I mean, that two of them job, right?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so
You
you can
know,
say
most men do that
that,
though.
right?
Most men will say, I'm babysitting today. Who you babysitting? It is
Well,
your child.
No,
yeah, but babysitting is the word that for the duty you're doing. So it's okay to say I'm babysitting
You taking
because
care of your child,
that's
Dr.
the
Kwan.
duty. Yeah, but that's the name of the duty, which is babysitting, which is like you can say, well, I'm taking care of my child, but when you say babysitting, the person you're talking to understand you're taking care of the children that day.
Ah, because most of
Yeah.
our understanding as you're taking care of somebody on a child. So we babysitting, that's why.
Mm,
Okay. Now you made that clear.
yeah.
Now you make that clear. Well, oh, I didn't read Sister Blessing. Um,
I can
Sister
read. Oh,
Bless,
there you
she
go.
said, Happy Father's Day to all our fathers here, Dr. Sam, especially to Bishop Dr. John Marsh Jr., Senior.
Senior.
Happy Father's Day to my daddy. Thank you for the great impact in my life. Amen. Hallelujah, church.
happy pre-Father's Day.
Welcome, Brother Michael. That is Brother Michael's name on YouTube. So
Welcome
welcome, welcome. You say
back.
hello, everyone. Sis Nana, she just said, what?
I don't know what you heard.
I think that was the time we were talking about the pregnancy thing,
Yes,
right?
God.
Like wild men.
Is that the only one she heard?
You see, your people, right now, I think you. Uh, Pastor Scott, you are right. I did my portion of the work. Thank you, Pastor Scott. Yeah, I leave did a portion of the work.
Yeah.
On here, we
So
also have.
Go
Oh,
ahead.
okay. I've already welcomed everyone. We see 11 people on here,
Um,
but we do not know who else watching. So please,
some people from on here that I can see. I want to welcome
okay.
Machia or Pastor Allen Dua. Welcome, my love. Thanks for being on here. If you are just joining us, we that's the person I can see so far.
Yeah.
If you are just joining us, we want to welcome you to the Evelyn Marsh Network. And today's topic is an open discussion. Anybody can come on, or you can put your comment down in the comment section. But we are talking about the sacrifice and legacy of a father. Some fathers. They say I should say some. So yeah, and we want to be positive about things that fathers do that go unnoticed, because most of the time fathers do make sacrifices for the children as well, as their responsibility to help the mom. And so that's our discussion today. If you want to call in and give your input, please feel free to do so. The number is 612-426-1353, or you can type in your comment below. We know that next Sunday is Father's Day, so this discussion is for all of us. You can tell us something about your dad, the impact he made in your life, or the impact you are making as a contribution, as a father to your family, um, and so forth. So that's the discussion for today. So we want to welcome you again. So Dr. Pa, let's continue. Pujubu, you have something to say? No?
Um, let's go.
So Dr. Pa, let's continue with the role. What are some roles of a good father?
Mm, mm,
all right.
Um,
So some of the roles I can say here I'm an expert in it to explain everything. But some of the expectation of the role of the father is number one to provide for the home, right? Um, so wherever the man is when he decides not to live alone, he is expected by society to be a provider. Now, when we talk about provider, there are different things the man needs to provide in the home. So the basic need for every living thing is shelter, clothing, and food, right? So those are the basic needs for human beings per se to provide shelter. Father's responsibility is to make sure that the people that you call your own have a decent place to live so that when it rains, to protect them from the elements.
Mm,
Food. So a father's basic provision is also to make sure that the people you call your own has something to eat, some kind of sustenance to maintain them, and then clothing, right? So that there's that. I think we have one whole show here about appearance, right? So our image, like when people see the people that you call your own, whether it's your spouse or your children, that's the very first impression they have is what they are wearing, what kind of clothing they have on can tell what kind of father you are as well. So the very first thing is to provide these basic needs. Another basic need is safety, right? So the expectation is that the people that call you father, you will provide safety for them. When they are with you will ensure that they are safe, right? That's why you see, if you live in a home, let's say in your dwelling, whether it's a house or apartment, the men in our house, if they sleep in the house at night, you will see that before they actually go to bed, they come and check the doors, right? Make sure all the doors are locked before they actually fall asleep. It's intrinsic within us to make sure that even while we are sleeping and we are not up to provide safety for our families, we're going to come and make sure all the doors are closed. You'll see some of them will have like a baseball bat. Those that like guns will keep one around, but those are things that are intrinsic within us to make sure that the people that look us to us as a father, we will provide their safety. But this also means that you cannot be the one to put them at risk, right? So they can call you father, and then you are the one there abusing them physically, emotionally, or sexually. That's not an expectation of somebody that they call father, right? You provide clothing, shelter, food, and safety for the people that call you father. Those are the roles you are expected to play. Another role is to provide guidance for them.
Hmm.
Like we said earlier when we were talking about legacy, we want our children to end up better than we did, right? So the way we can do that is to start mapping the road that we expect them to walk on. So if you one day you expect, like when you go to see your baby that first day, everybody think that baby is gonna be a doctor, an engineer, a lawyer, right? When you see that first baby, that infant, right? But if that's the vision God placed in your heart, then your part of your role is to make
mm,
sure that they will graduate from high school with a kind of attitude towards college that will make that vision come true, right? So then from ABC all the way, you're gonna make sure number one, you will be guiding them towards that light. If you the
mm,
vision that God placed in you before the child came was that one day you'll be the father of let's say what's her name? Samuel's mom, right? When she was praying for me, she said, God, if you give me a child, I will give the child back to you, right? So then when she delivered and the baby could walk and talk, she took the baby back to the temple and said, hey, uh, um, gave the
Perfect.
baby to Elijah, say, hey, oh God, that if he blessed me with a baby, I'm going to give that baby back to him, right? And brought the baby and left the baby with the priest, with the high priest to raise the baby in a way that God would like. So if the vision God put in your mind is one day you'll be the parent of a doctor or an engineer, then it is your duty to make sure that that baby becomes a doctor or an engineer. And you're going to start from ABC time, right? You're not going to wait till you be the one. Oh, you're supposed to be a doctor, but all that time when they were in school, you never helped them with their homework, or you know. Let me tell you a personal story. My father wanted me to be an engineer. All right, so there's some misguided parents out there. All right, so my father was a lawyer and a politician. And I looked like him, I talked like him, I did all that stuff. So there was nothing really in me that could be an engineer. I talk too much. I like playing around and stuff. And engineers are not like that. So if my father had had a vision that was going to play towards my strength, I would have been a doctor before the war in Liberia started, right? But because he wanted me to do all these things that I they were not playing to my strengths. I had a bad when I went first to college to do engineering. It was a very terrible experience, and I went to do it just because my father wanted me to be an engineer, right? So that was like a misguided direction. I can still figure out why he wanted, but he used to line up his children. He said they want a civil engineer, they want electrical engineer, they want a doctor, right? And just put that on randomly.
To be Dr. Kwa, he was calling
And
you to be. Yes. He was
you're
calling
calling it to be, right?
yes.
But there was no logic behind it, right? It's possible you can call things to be, but if you want to do that, then maybe, like we were all born with certain strengths and certain weaknesses, right? So then if you play to your child's strength, for example, if you have a child right now, by the time they are ready to go to school at age 5, there's a reason why the people chose 5 as the beginning of school, right? There's a reason because by the time they get to age 5, you can already tell like what their strengths and what their weaknesses are. Now, if you put some logic into it, and if you have a vision for them, you will see, right, what their strengths and weaknesses are, right?
Mhm.
If you want your child to be engineer and by the time they get to third grade, they still can do addition and stuff, maybe engineering is not the place they're going, right? You listen and you watch and you put some logic behind it. If you got a child that likes storytelling, that like people, that like doing that stuff, maybe they'll be in the social sciences, right? So if you play to their strength, you guide them towards that thing. You help them accomplish that thing faster. So one of the roles the fathers have to do is to provide guidance. And if you see that they are headed or God wants them in a certain direction, right? Then you help make it easy for them to get to that place. Right? Another role that fathers are supposed to play is discipline, right? The Bible says foolishness is what is it? Foolishness is bound in the child.
Of a trial.
Foolishness is in the
Oh,
heart of the child.
All right, all right. So nobody was born smart. So foolishness is there. Part of the father's role is discipline. Now there is a difference between discipline and abuse, right?
mm,
So when you discipline a person, the goal is to teach a lesson, and then you follow up to make sure that that lesson is learned. That's what discipline is. Now, abuse is when you inflict pain just for your own enjoyment, right? Because you're not teaching any lesson, and some of you will have this delayed response, like You get mad at the father, but you go beat the child for something the father did. Or let's say the child did something today, but you were busy doing something and you wait till next week and beat them for something they did today, right? So those are not disciplinary. Now, if you also do the punishment in a way that you are more interested in inflicting pain than in teaching a lesson, then that's not discipline. You are actually abusing the child. So, in order to call it a discipline, your focus is in teaching a lesson, right? And some children they are here hard for truth, but if you do it correctly, you will only have to do it once, right? I got whoop, right? So I'm not saying what you can do, what you cannot do. But I'm just saying if your goal was discipline, usually you do it one time. And if you do it correctly, just by looking at it some kind of way, they will get the message immediately. You don't have to repeatedly do it, right? Those of you that feel say when you, I think there's a Bible verse that say when you hold a rod, you spoil the child. I don't know what is in the Bible, but only Liberian parents used to say that. I know my mom said that, right?
The spirit rose for the child.
Yeah, spare the rod, spoil the child. I don't know whether that's in the Bible, but
That, what about the foolish talking?
I know about the Proverbs one, the foolishness.
okay,
Yeah.
all right. So if you have to use the rod, if you use it correctly, you only do it one time or once in a while, because all you gotta do is look at the child some kind of way, and they will remember that lesson immediately. You
That
don't
apple.
actually have to, yeah, you don't have to be there continuously. You just have to look at them some kind of way, and whatever that lesson was, they will remember it. And if they have to apologize, they'll apologize, or they have to turn around, they will turn around. But you don't have to continuously, you know, whip them. Like, that means that technique is not working. I can tell you from personal experience, when it came to the time when I thought my mom just enjoyed beating me, I did whatever I wanted to do. Right? Well, she gonna beat me anyways, right? So that was not discipline. It was like it wasn't working. And then one day, my mom had asked me to do some stuff and said, I beg you. And she, only two of us was in town, right? All the other kids had gone for a weekend or something. And she said, do that there. I beg you. It was just like, we're back up country. So she said, before the sun goes down, make sure you close all the windows so the mosquitoes don't come in. Light the lanterns, make sure the doors are closed, stuff like that. And then she went out. Soon as she left myself, I checked out to go play football and marbles and all kind of stuff. And we were doing those things. I was still out when I finally realized the sun had gone down. It was dark, right? And then I started running home. And my mom and myself got home right at the same time. It was already dark. All the windows were still open. All the doors to the house were open. Nothing was all right. When we got home, I was ready. I already put my Iron Man suit on. I said, well, yeah, I do. And my mom just sat there and cried, right? She said, God, and I do everything I know possible in the child. The child again, and I do everything, right? And my mom cried. She just sat there. She didn't touch me. She just cried. And that was the first time in my life that I realized that my behavior affected my mom, right? I actually thought she just like beating me, right?
Wow.
Yes. So the day she chose not to beat me was the first time I actually felt empathy for her. And I was like, oh my God, right? And then that was where I actually started to consider her feelings too. And I think I started to change small, small. It didn't happen overnight, but that was the day she decided not to beat me. And my mom just sat there and cried. And said, go around, try everything, nothing working. And that was the time I actually learned something. So discipline, how you know whether you are disciplining or you are abusing, is there a lesson learned, right? Is there a lesson learned? So basically, if you actually discipline a kid, after the discipline, sometime later, you will still have a discussion. You know why I did what I did? They
Yeah.
say yes. They say, okay, so next time, what you think you're going to do differently? And then they tell you. Then you know you discipline the kid because they learn something. If you don't do it that way, then whatever you are doing, you are only pleasing yourself. You're not doing something that benefits the child.
Mm.
Like just to add to some of the roles of a true father, like Dr. Kwan. Dad, welcome. David Young, welcome.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here. We are talking about the sacrifice and legacy of a true father or of a father. We honoring fathers today. Since Sunday, next Sunday is a Father's Day. But Dr. Kwan mentioned security, right? And my dad was a corner in the militia. And I remember, even as far as being so young, I remember my dad had a pistol. He used to put it under the bed by his bedside. And so at night when we sleeping, he would get up, right, and go outside under the tree because we have benches and stuff there. He would go and walk around, make sure we are sleeping. And I can say that because I was always under my dad, like I said. And so there were days when he get up, I gotta get up too and follow behind him at night, right? And so yeah, he would make sure everybody, I mean, the doors are locked and everything. And he would be under that tree just watching, make sure his family um are sleeping, they are okay, they are protected and stuff like that. And doing my research, there are some other things too that I came across. A father should be present and
Always.
actively he should be actively listening. There are some fathers who don't listen, you know,
Mm.
to their parents, I mean to their kids or even their wife, what they have to say. It's just what they want to say or what they want. But you go and see your hand going
You
like
see why we say some?
yes,
Well, it looks like she used to the song now, but continue.
that's that song, right? I just said some. But yeah, they have to be present and be involved actively, and to listen. I also came across quality time, spending quality time with your kids. There
Yeah.
are some fathers who don't care. Go to your mom. In fact,
Yeah.
they 1 hour they are home when the kids come, daddy, go to your mom. Everything is go to your mom, go to your mom. But the role of a father, of a true father, is to spend quality time with your kids. Show your kids the mother is there doing her best, but she is not able to teach a boy how to be a man.
Good man.
You, the
Mm.
father, that is why you are there to
Come on
teach
now.
that boy child how to be a man and to be a good role model in the society as well. So that tomorrow when he gets married, he will not be a burden to his wife. His wife
Yep.
will not be taking care of a baby, but his wife would be appreciative that he is a man and he will be the ambassador. I mean, Dr. Kwan mentioned that being that person that will set example for your children to see and emulate you, right? And kind of do what they saw. So another thing is emotional security as well,
Mm-hmm.
right? Healthy
Mhm.
relationship, building healthy relationship with your children as a father. Build that relationship. Sometimes the relationship is not there, but we are talking about some fathers now. The role of a true father. Some of the father do these things. He guides, right? He lead by example. his character is exhibited. You know, the parent, I mean, his kids can see that. And and my father did all of that. And I will always talk about him, you know, accountability, you know, that those are some of the role of a good father. He teaches and discipline fairly, like Dr. Khan said. Um, Fostering independence as well. And one of the things I saw that I want to mention, I have it here. Well, maybe we'll go there. After this, we'll go there. And but those were some of the things that I already picked up when I was doing my research about, because this topic means a lot to me. Like I said, I'm daddy's girl. So I knew I was going to come and have fun here today talking about dads and stuff. But the dad should be there, be present, help. And like how Dr. Khan said, he had also been there. Pastor Scott can also attest to that. There are some fathers who are not just working outside of the home, but when they come home, they are also involved in the kid's life and making sure things go smoothly.
Okay, let me add to some of the stuff you said.
Okay.
Being present. Okay, so being present does not always have to be physical, right? If, for example, that opportunity does not exist, where you are not, maybe some of you work out of state, out of the country, or like in some cases where by the time you work, by the time the children come from school, you are already sleeping, or something like that, right? Being present also means just like having that connection with your kids. If your kids are old enough to have phone, right? Like every now and then, you the one that just text them, "Good morning, Ada. How you doing today?" Right? How's your day going? Just that, making sure that connection is open where they can talk to you, right? Being present is if they're not physically there and they call you on the phone, you see the caller ID is from one of your kids. Whatever you're doing, if it's possible, you tell for, "Hey, excuse me, my kid, I need to say something." And they say, "Hey, everything okay? Okay." If they say, "Yeah, it's okay, I'm in a meeting right now, I'll call you right back." If they say no, you say, "Okay, I'm in a meeting, but what's going on? Let me see if I can help it quick." That shows them that you also prioritize them. So being present, even if you're not physically present, making sure that the connection between there is live. You don't wait for them to be the one to tell you hello every day. If at the end of the day your children tell you hello, or it's been 2, 3 days they didn't say hello, there's nothing wrong with you being the one to say hello, just to make sure that connection is active. The other thing you talk about being a role model, one thing that is very hard to see with us men, that is very important for your children to see, is they want to see you say sorry sometimes, whether it's to their mom or to themselves. They want to see you when you're wrong, you say sorry. You know, ain't nobody gonna eat you here, like they say, like, right? By saying sorry when you're wrong. But one of the biggest problems we have, I think, I want to say in Liberia, right, is it's very hard to find people that say sorry, right? So just
Fathers.
say yeah. Well, not just fathers. Everybody from Liberia have
Men
difficulty
in
saying
general,
sorry.
fathers.
Okay, okay. I think if we vote, I will lose. So let's say fathers. See, we're talking about fathers. It is a great thing
But
for your
Dr.
children
Khan,
to
that cuts
see
me
you.
off. Not only to say sorry. I love you. I'm proud of you. I'm sorry.
Hmm. Hmm.
Those three words.
Yes.
The
So
fathers,
those are important.
hmm,
I mean, I know a lot. I know a lot of fathers, like who don't have a problem to say "I love you" or "I'm proud of you," even though they don't say it frequently, but they still have trouble just saying sorry, right? So your children need to see you say sorry when you're wrong. The other thing that your children need to see is when you don't know something, It's okay to say, you know what, I don't know that one,
I
right?
will get.
Right? That's another hard thing to hear people say, right? You can say, you know what, that thing during my days, the internet was not there. So, but
It's not
let
people
me
saying
call,
the right
yeah,
thing.
let me call my friend. I will get back to you on that one. Right now, personally, myself, I don't know the answer. It's okay. When you don't know the answer, say, I don't know the answer. Give me time. I'll call one of my friends. I'll get back to you, but I don't know the answer. Just hearing you say, I don't know the answer, is a great example as a role model because there'll be times your children say need to say, I don't know the answer. But if they've never heard you say it, they too might start to develop that difficulty of saying, I don't know the answer. So they start winging things. And that will become one of your legacy to your children. Is like they never learn to say sorry, or they never learn to say, I don't know the answer. And so they have either unfinished issues that they never resolved because they refuse to say sorry, or they wing it and get sometimes they get in trouble because they didn't know how to say, I don't know the answer. Go ahead, Apostle Lola, you got something to say.
No, I just wanna. It was funny. Not only that, but even the kids' schoolwork that came to mind. We understand, and to the point, even the kids, because the kids nowadays, the eyes just like this, right? To the point you think you hiding as a father or as a parent to, to act like you know it. The kids can read between the line.
Oh
They
yeah.
work to you to for you to help them. You don't know it. You don't know it. I'm telling you, you know, those days is different from now. But you sit there and act like, and the kids will know. They'll say, "True, daddy don't know this. Daddy don't know that. Daddy don't know the other one." Just be honest, like you said. You are human. Be honest with
Yeah, you know how I say I used to help my kids with their homework. By the time they got to the 10th grade, they were and they bringing like the ha algebra thing at home. I was never that good at math, right? But I got a friend.
You
I,
were not bold.
that why I didn't go to engineering school, right? So
Okay.
then they will bring these, how to calculate the slope. I remember that thing. Like, remember I graduated from high school more than 40 years now, right? So I didn't know that. So I told her, I said, listen, my man, I always been good at math in Ohio. Send me the thing. Let me test it to him. And then when he tested back, yes. I was not ashamed to say, I said, I don't know, but I got a friend that probably knows. And as soon as I sent it to the guy in less than 10 minutes, he worked the thing out, he demonstrated it, sent it back to me. I said, hey, and my friend, and my daughter, like, she worked it out and she said, your friend's really good at this thing. I said, yeah. That why it's good to get friends that are good at something you're not good at, right? It became a learning discussion. Like, okay, that why, this is my friend from way high school. He been good at math from way high school, and we now senior citizen. We're still friends. He's still good at math. I can still count on him for stuff like that, right? And that was my opportunity to tell my daughter in high school that some of the friends you are making today, if, you're good, 20, 30 years, 40 years from now, you might still be friends. So nurture your friends that you have today. It came from being a math assignment to a learning life lesson that there are certain things daddy don't know, but daddy knows somebody that knows. And it's
No
a
shame
good
in
thing.
that game, Dr. Kwan. I do the
No
same thing.
shame in that.
No.
No shame in that. It's good for your children when you don't know to say I don't know. Instead of you going there, you try to calculate the slope. You put all kind of thing there, you
Dr.
child
Kwan,
go
I
fail,
don't
then
know A, I
you
don't
want
know A.
discipline the child.
Bring all the other subjects,
Yeah,
don't bring math near me.
Okay, so
yeah.
on that note, we want to again welcome you. I see a comment here.
Yes.
Just before we go to the next, and then we are winding down now.
Pastor Scott, he said, "Spare the rod is not scriptural,
Thank
but
you.
it seem." Come again?
No, I'm
Oh,
telling
okay.
you for looking it out for us.
Okay. He said it's not scriptural, but a similar text is found in Proverbs 13:26, which says, "He that spared the rod hates his son, but he that involves him he that loved him
I love.
chastise
Yeah.
him
So that's
bedtime."
interesting.
Yep. The
Yeah.
old people took it from the 17th poem.
Um,
17?
yeah, it's
A
17.
psalm. I think that was psalm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, Pastor
Thank
Scott.
you, Pastor Scott, for clarifying that for us, because I know we all use it, but we didn't know where it's from. Bless, she said, God richly bless you, mommy, for this great topic.
Okay, so Pujupu, let's do our last discussion here. You do, then we take a break. Remember what we talk about? You take that break and then we'll come and give our parting statement. Again, we are talking, if you are just joining, welcome. We are talking about sacrifice and legacy of a father. Next Sunday is Father's Day. So this Sunday we decided to kick it off by honoring or just saying thank you or just talking about the good things that some fathers do that go unnoticed. So Dr. Pan, let's get this down and then Pujubu will come with her commercial break. We'll go on commercial break and then we give our party statement. We ought to hear. Um, I while I was doing my research, I came across what are some qualities, right, that make a good father. And some of it I just want to read. I came up with 10 of them, 10 qualities of a
Okay.
good father. He shows up. A good father shows up.
Mm.
And I can remember, you know, when I tell my dad, when I call my dad, or when I send message or what have you, or if I'm crying, or any of my brothers, whatever, if they don't get on my good side that day, my dad will always be there to set them straight. Yeah. So a good father shows up. He sets a good example. He treats the mother of his child or children with love and respect.
Mm.
He takes joy in his kids or children. He disciplines fairly. He listens. He verbally expresses love and pride. He spends the most precious asset, which is time, with his children or family. He is a protector. He is a supporter. So those are some of the things that I just jot down. Um, which is quality of a good father. What do you have to add to that, Dr. Pam, before we go on commercial break?
All right. That's good. So the things that we say that should be intentional about. Um, we talk about you saying sorry. Be intentional about it. If you have
Mhm.
not done it recently, pay attention and do it in front of your kids. Let them see you say it. That now you wait till midnight, they wake up you and say, my auntie, what the outside. So the way they can talk, the way they say it, right? The way they say it is if the thing you're sorry for, you did it in front of children, then you must apologize in front of them too. So if you did it secretly, only you and the old man know, then you can say sorry around midnight, right? But if the children saw it or the man report to them already and they know about it, then you gotta say sorry in front of them, right? If you don't know, you gotta be intentional about it. Let them hear you say you don't know. Um, the other thing, uh, when you to be intentional about, I didn't write it down and look like it just slipped my mind. But it said, learn to laugh at yourself, right? Let the children see you. Let's say you do something that you're not good at, and then you laugh about it because that's where, especially if you get girls, that where most of their insecurity comes from, right? The they see the thing that they're not good at, and the thing that what everybody sees. So now when they see, like, once in a while, I'll tell my kids, let's do karaoke night. And I always tell them this story, like, I used to sing in the choir, but God said no.
Sorry.
Yeah. See, I actually used to, but like the story of the talent, where God took the talent from the person that ain't use it, he go bury it. He took it from there and give it to somebody else. It's a scriptural principle that if you have a talent that you're not using, he can take it from you. So I used to sing. And I tell it like 1,000 times, but every time, once in a while, I say, let's go do karaoke. Mm, yeah. I gotta see a little bit, I gotta swallow my spit and drink some water and then see it. But it's fun, right? It's like, yeah, you always say you used to sing, but there's no evidence. And then we laugh, right? I'm doing something that I know I'm no longer good at, but they see me trying something I'm not good at and I laugh, right? And then one time, I think it was Halloween, and then y'all all know I bald headed and I saw like an Afro wig. I was like, well, the Halloween, yeah, I gonna pull an Afro wig. That's the funniest thing they ever saw, right? And they laughing and stuff like that. So okay, I'll take my picture in the wig. I'll not wear it, but just so y'all know that there are some things that I can do that y'all can laugh at him and it's okay, right? So have some fun time with the kids where let's say at your own expense so that they too can learn. It's okay to laugh at yourself sometimes, or it's okay for your friends to laugh at you because nobody's perfect, right? There are things you're good at, there's gonna be things you're not good at. But you don't have to be insecure because you're not good at that thing. You heard me say tonight, I'm not good at math. I know the things I'm good at. So I don't have to be insecure because I'm not good at this other thing. You know, God ain't give me all the things that He gave me some. Uh, it's okay for me to be happy with the one He gave me, than for me to focus on the one He didn't give me. So when
Yeah.
your children see you do that, then they also start to build confidence in a level of strength, and then they find people that can cover them in their area of weakness, like the way I'm not spending no overnight trying to be good at math. I already give up on a long time. But I get friends. I get friends, right? I'm not trying to be good at the things that I already know I'm not good at. I am trying to be the things that I know I'm good at. I'm trying to be the best at it, right? That way I'm gonna spend the night up trying to be the best at it. And the things I'm not good at, I acknowledge it and I find people who can cover that for me. If your kids can see you do that, you gonna raise some giants in your family, and tomorrow, they might be specialists, right? At something because that where their strength is, but they don't have to be jack of all trades, and it's okay. So let your children see you laugh at yourself small, and let your children tell your children the things you're not good at, and let them know that sometimes even that they think you're Superman, there are certain things you're not good at, right? And in that way, they themselves will start to build confidence because they too have things they're not good at, right? You know, where I realized I was never going to grow hair, I accepted it. I'm a proud boy-headed man, right?
When you realize you
So
weren't gonna grow hair.
long time, long time. Okay, so from the time I was small, my dad would go to the barber frequently. I think he too was kind of bored, but he did this fade thing that was really low cut. And every time he go in, he'll carry me too, and they give me the same kind of bald fade thing. So I never really grew hair. I think at a certain point, my hair decided they were not going to grow no more. It's like, okay, that's just me. I'm never going to get afro. My brother that next to used to get shot. Like, I don't know if y'all know shot, but it's like the afro by be hanging in the back and stuff like that. I never grew that kind of hair to get shot. I was always the one with either I was totally bald or I had a bald fade. But I like, God don't face something that's imperfect, right? If God faced me with bald head, then this is who I am, and He faced me that way. It's okay for me to accept me for who I am, so that other people can accept me. So if you out there looking for all kind of fake stuff to make you to add to the thing God gave you, well, you'll be passing that down to your children. That maybe the way God made them, they're not okay. They gotta go find some fake stuff to fix it in a way. Now, I'm not saying people should not try to look more beautiful, but I'm just saying you still need to accept yourself for who you are so that you can pass that level of confidence to your children as well.
All righty. Thank you, Dr. Kwan, on that. Um, they say all good things will come to an end, and we are here. Mother, do you have anything to add before I proceed?
I will do it during my closing statement.
All righty. Okay, again, we want to say thank you to everyone tonight. Thank you, Dr. Kwan and Mother, for this open discussion. And our viewer, listener out there, we want to say thank you all so much. But if you are here and you've been listening into the Evelyn Marsh Network, we want to say welcome and thank you again for tuning in for this beautiful topic tonight. We are here again to advertise this flyer. For those of you that are out there that are dealing with mental issues and mental illness and stuff, or you just need someone to talk to and you feel like you have lost yourself along the way and you just need someone to listen to you and think, we have our own doctor here, Dr. Sam Jikwa. The Evelyn Marsh Network is in collaboration with Essential Care Center, who the CEO happens to be Dr. Sam Ba. It's a mental health clinic. You can reach out to him, book your appointment to be able to just have a conversation with him. If you are dealing with anything, or your child or children are dealing with anything, and you just need that help in talking to someone or seeing what can be done with your child, just give Dr. Sam Jipa a call, or you can go to www.essentialcarecenter.com and book your appointment for your first 30 minutes appointment. If this is your first time going to see Dr. Sam Kwan, BA telehealth or in person, if you are going to see him, you can book that appointment for the first time and using the promo code EMN. Once you use that code, it is a free 30-minute section. You are not going to be billed. You are not going to be charged. And when you decide to go back for your second time again and you use the promo code EMN, if you are paying with cash or card, there will be some sort of discount. However, he does take every kind of insurance that you have that can be used that day for your appointment. But he can see you both telehealth and in person, as I stated. To book your appointment online, you can go to the website, or you can even make the call 612-441-2024 to book that appointment. The clinic is open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And on Saturday, it is only by appointment. So let us please try our best to make use of this opportunity, this free of charge promo, and get ourselves checked out or get some help that is needed for our children. Thank you all again. God bless you for tonight and always.
On that note, we are going to give our parting statement. Thank you, Pujubu. Pujubu, do you have a parting statement?
No, I think I've already included Ayman thing, but thank you guys again. It was a great show, and thanks to Dr. Kwan again. We were able to get a lot of info today. Fathers, especially the kind of fathers that should the kind of fathers that children should be looking up to, I should say. So we want to say thank you. We are in the month of Father Day. We appreciate all men out there, for all fathers that are playing that role of a fathers in your children's life. We appreciate you guys so much. Thank you again. Keep doing what you're doing, and God bless you.
Okay, so be the best at what you do. That's what I would want to say. Do not worry about what you don't have or what you cannot do. What is in your hand, use it, and use it to the best of your ability. God, who has gifted you or have placed that uniqueness in you, trust in Him, go to Him. He will see you through. So be the best at what you do. Accept your uniqueness and appreciate who you are.
Mm.
God has gifted to you or given you something unique that nobody has. Use it. And then to my fathers, love your family and children and be a positive role model in your family life. Learn to say, I love you, I
Hmm.
am proud of you, and I am sorry. It will go a long way. Also, respect and give care. Be present and be active listener. God bless you. Thanks for being with us. Happy Father's Day in advance to all of our men or all of our fathers out there. We appreciate you. Continue to do the great job you are doing. And if at all, there are some fathers on here, or some of you, some fathers may come across this podcast later on. If there is anything that we have discussed, or there are some things that we have discussed that is meaningful or that will be meaningful to you, please take it and use it. We mean well, and we are here to celebrate you today. Happy Father's Day. We love you.
Happy Father's Day. Well, was I supposed to give my parting statement? Or we done?
Sir, that's my parting statement.
Oh,
Over
I
to
thought
you,
you were going
Dr.
to be
Kwan.
the last one. Okay, guys, listen. We believe that children are a gift from God. Here's what I used to think in my own times of frustration and stuff. If we believe in an omnipotent God, an omniscient God, right? So a God who knows everything. So you are going to have those days when you don't think you're fit enough or you qualify enough or you don't even know why God gave you this child, right? When that time comes, if you actually believe that there is a God someplace that is omnipotent and omniscient, here's what I used to tell myself. If God thinks I'm qualified enough to give me the gift, then He must know something I don't know, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm going to hang in here. I'm going to just take one day at a time. I don't have to know everything. As long as you show up, like says Evelyn would say, as long as you show up, as long as you're present, as long as you're intentional about making sure that when this child grows up, he's going to live a better or she's going to live a better life than you, you're going to be fine. You don't have to be perfect, but God thinks you are good enough to give you that gift. He will provide the ways and the means to make sure that that gift He gave you is going to produce something even better than you can. So just do your part daily, be intentional about it, and it's going to turn out okay. There's a millionaire right now in New York that was raised by a homeless dad, but his dad never left him, took him with him everywhere. If you there's that movie with Will Smith, I think they call it Happy Days or something. It's a true story where the father took his son with him everywhere. They slept from bus stop to bus stop. The son is a millionaire today. And he will tell you, I never knew we were homeless because as long as I was there with my father, it felt like we were home. It didn't matter where we were sleeping, but as long as I was with my father, I never knew we were homeless. Right?
Wow.
That's the kind of power that God put in your hands. You
Mm-hmm.
can do this. You can do this. And if you are intentional about it, those of us that are fathers today, we have a roadmap in our head. We have fathers too. We can look at that. So if you thought the way your father did something was not right, like I was telling you, my father wanted me to go engineering school. I wasted 3 years of my first time going to college trying to be an engineer. It didn't work out. I learned something from that. So when it came to my own children, I was like leaning on their strength, but I made them part of the discussion. What do you want to? I just want you to go to college. But what do you want to do? What things you think you're good at? It was a discussion with them so that they get to choose what they know they're good at, right? And then I asked them some questions. I said, my father made a decision for me, but I didn't like it. So I'm going to break that cycle. We got a roadmap. And the things that my father did that I thought was good, I continue it to my children. And the things he did that I didn't think was good, I became the block. And I did something that I think was better. Now I'll be judged by the output of my children in the future, but I can tell you I'm okay with the relationship I have with my kids. And I hope when your time comes, that's all you're going to have to say too. I'm okay with the relationship I have with my kids. They may not be like your neighbor's kids, they may not be like the one we see on TV, but if they can say someplace that I can count on my father anytime, any day, then you did a great job. Happy Father's Day. Enjoy it. And I'm on God's side. We believe in you. We think you can make this thing work, and don't doubt yourself. You can make it work.
On that note, we love you, like we always say here at EMN, and we love you by force. Great discussion
Whether
again.
you like it or not.
Like it or not, Papa, thank you. We'll leave you with a song, Jesus Apostle Poso, from Prophetess John J. Quempney. I guess that's the last name.